friends, I'm back. It's been a while. If you're new here, hi, I'm Melissa, and I am Stitches Be Slippin on Instagram, and this is the Stitches Be Slippin podcast YouTube channel. I mainly talk about knitting, sometimes other stuff. I get distracted by other things quite frequently because I have ADHD, and that causes me to go off on random tangents a lot. I feel a lot of that coming on today, so hopefully we can try and stay on some sort of train of thought today. It has been a while. It's been almost a month since my last podcast, and the reason for that is my life has been a bit of a gong show. My last podcast, I had my husband Dave on, and thank you so much to everyone who made positive comments and told him how good a job he did. It went straight to his head, but he really appreciated that. He wanted me to read him all the comments, so that was really fun. Sorry, I was just hearing weird noises. So like I said, life has been utter and total chaos since my last episode. I'm not going to say our, because it's not his podcast. This is my podcast. Since my last podcast, I think the day we recorded that I recorded that podcast a day later after we did that one. And then the following, within a week of that, we put an offer on a new house and got it, and then life just went nuts. So we are moving in the middle of April, and so for the last month we've been getting this house ready to sell. And so yeah, it's been a lot. We've been in this house for over 14 years, and just accumulating stuff for over 14 years. So it took a long time to, the first step was to purge. And I purged, having ADHD is, it's a blessing and a curse. So it has been a bit of a blessing when it comes to getting this house ready for sale, because when you have ADHD, you do get distracted a lot, but when you laser focus on something, you absolutely laser focus on it, and you do it until it is done and you cannot do anything else. So I purged my house for 7 to 10 days straight and did nothing else. I dropped my kids off at school, and then I would come home and purge a room, and it took a long time. It would take probably half a day to a day, depending on what room it was to purge. Anyway, this is not very interesting. It took a long time, and I worked really hard at it. And so we got a dumpster. We threw a bunch of stuff out, and I donated a bunch of stuff. And yeah, so we got a dumpster, threw all the garbage in there, did all the donating. And then we got a storage bin because we still had a lot of stuff we want to keep, but we needed to get out of the house to get it ready for sale so it doesn't look all cluttery with all our furniture everywhere. So that just got picked up this morning. So the last week or two has been just sorting stuff and piling stuff up and getting it ready to put in the storage bin. And then it took a few days to get it all in the storage bin. We had to take our couch out the back patio door into the alley and around to the front of our house because our couch wouldn't fit out the front door. Our living room was empty for a few days. We have some furniture out there now that our realtor got to make it look nice to sell. I was she put it very diplomatically when she texted. She said, I'm just gonna get some trendy furniture to put in the living room for staging. And I was like, thank you so much, because the couches that we've had out in that living room Dave bought before we met in 2009, and they're very comfortable couches, don't get me wrong, but they're like beige puffy leather couches, and they're gonna go in our basement in our new house, let's just say that. So I was happy with her for just gently telling him that his couches were ugly. Yeah, anyway, we have some stuff out there now, and then we're hopefully going to be listing the house in the next couple of days. It actually sounds really echoey in here because it feels really empty. Our whole house feels really empty. It feels like devoid of life because all of our stuff and all of our pictures of ourselves and stuff are all gone in storage and whatever. Anyway, that's a really long way of explaining that we're moving. Yeah, so I think photographers are coming tomorrow, and she's hopefully getting it listed in the next few days. Yeah, so we're very much hoping that it sells quickly, but who knows? Who knows? It's a nice house. It's 1951 bungalow, and the lot is big. It's a big pie-shaped lot, so our backyard is quite large. So that is good. It's in a good neighborhood. We were really worried that we went to do the home inspection on the new house that we got, and the guy was walking around with like a heat gun. So he runs cold water for like 10 minutes, and then he walks around and points the heat gun at the ceiling to see if there's any cold spots, to see if there's any water leaking from any pipes anywhere. And we were like, oh, our house is gonna light up like a fucking Christmas tree. Because our house, like I said, was built in 1951. We still have like original copper plumbing down there. There's some other newer stuff that like there were multiple renovations in this house before we moved in, and then we did some moving in. And then like we have updated the plumbing every once in a while as the old stuff has burst. So anyway, we bought a newer house. We bought a bigger house because our kids just keep getting bigger and this house just keeps getting smaller. So we're very much looking forward to moving to our new house. It's going to be very sad not to live in this house, honestly. Like I said, I think I've mentioned this before, we got married in our backyard. Both my boys, this is the only house that they've ever known, and we have so many memories of raising the boys in this house, and so it's going to be really hard to leave. But it is going to be, we bought a really nice house that is very homey, and like we just immediately felt at home when we went to look at it. Like we could immediately picture ourselves living there, which I don't think happens for everyone when they're looking for a house, so that was good. Anyway, I'll stop talking about that. This is very long. This may be more of a just me sit and knit and empty my brain because I haven't talked to other adults for a while. Yeah. And that's why I'm sitting over here today. I wanted to sit in my nice comfy knitting chair and not in my office chair in front of the window because I wanted to sit and knit and work on this sweater, because as a result of all the purging and packing and all of that stuff, there has not been very much knitting time lately. So I take it when I can, knit in my van when I'm waiting for my grocery order to be delivered into the back of my van. And you know what? I think I really need like one of those cars that has, what is it called? That drives itself. So that when I drive to work, like I have a 40 minute drive to work after I drop off my kids, and then a 40-minute drive home after work. Like I think if I had one of those self-driving cars, I could get a lot of knitting done. think that's a great idea. But we just bought a new house, so I'm probably not going to get a new car anytime soon. I apologize if anyone is new here and this is the first time they've been watching my podcast. It's not usually just a stream of consciousness, but this seems to be what's happening today. So go back and watch some other episodes where I actually talk about knitting and stuff. A few of my episodes lately, I talk about knitting and then talk about my life, but that just doesn't seem to be how it's going today. So I just wanted to get something recorded because it's been quite a while. I promised you guys a giveaway in the last episode and then made you wait almost a month. So I thought maybe I should probably announce the winner of that. I don't have a ton of knitting to show you because, as I said, I have not been knitting a lot. I really don't have a lot to show you, but I mean, we're all friends. We're just here to sit and knit and visit, right? I mean, I hope that you're knitting while you're watching this and not just staring at my face. I'm not even wearing, I am wearing knitting. I just didn't have the energy to go change into a knitted sweater, but I am wearing knitting, and this is an FO, so I'm just gonna keep talking about life and talk about my knitting so that I don't just keep interweaving them and have to put a whole bunch of subtitles in. So I'll put a title in at the very beginning when I start rambling so people can just skip ahead to the knitting talk because, well, I don't know, they're going to be disappointed because that part's going to be a little short. But oh well. Yeah, so as I said, there's been a lot of activity lately. Last week, was it last week? What day is it? I don't even know what day it is. Today is February 5th. And so not last week, but the week before, I'm looking at my calendar on the wall, was the 1-year anniversary of the very first podcast, the very first episode of Stitches Be Slippin Podcast. So if any of you out there have been around since day one, I thank you so much for sticking with me. If you've stuck with me for that long, then I think we would be great friends if we met in person because I am not everyone's cup of tea, and I appreciate you sticking around. I appreciate if you have ever recommended my podcast to anyone else. I love it when someone tells me that they've just found me or that someone said something that they should watch me. So anyway, still rambling. It's been a year and I've really loved it and I hope to keep going. I don't know how frequent it's going to be over the next few months as we're moving, but I think like the giant part of moving is done, like besides the actual move into the other house, but that's not for another few months. So I mean, right now all we're doing is trying to keep the house clean so that we can have showings and have people come and like it and buy it. So I totally went off track there. I was talking about how we had a pre-inspection. So the guy was looking for the cold spots in the ceiling. Thank you for everyone who was yelling at me saying you lost your train of thought. I got it back. So we were really worried that our house was gonna light up on that, but he didn't find any leaks. We have a brand new furnace. We have all kinds of it's just an old house. So there's lots of little things where he was like, well, there's this, or there's this, or there's this, but it's an old house. So I think that just comes with buying an old house, I guess. Anyway, yes, back to my life. It was my 1-year anniversary of the podcast. It's been total chaos. My kids have been pretty active lately. My older son has had lots of hockey in Calgary. I don't think I said that in the beginning. I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I think it's just a Calgary thing. They have a minor hockey, it's called SO Minor Hockey Week. And it's a tournament. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's a tournament, but it's not, they don't invite out of town teams. It's just all the teams in your league, basically. And you just play a little mini tournament. I don't know why they do it, but that happened. So they made it to the semifinals and then lost by 1 goal in the semifinals. So that was a bit of a heartbreaker. And my younger son has been, he just started diving lessons, which is so fun. Like diving, like off of a diving board, not like scuba diving. I actually took adult diving lessons when I was in my 20s, and it was so fun. When we were thinking of things for him to do, that was one of the things I suggested, and he didn't want to do it before Christmas, but then he thought maybe he wanted to give it a try. So he's been doing that for a few weeks, and he absolutely loves it. Like, he cannot wait. Like, he said after, he was like, Mom, can I do diving every day? And I said, no, it's too expensive. He goes like once a week, and the price point on once a week was a little tough to swallow. So, but it's great. There's a place in Calgary that has there's a couple places actually, that has all of the different level of springboards and towers all the way up to the 10 meter. And, when he's diving, there's a bunch of different age groups that are all diving at the same time. So it's really, really fun to sit and watch, because there's always somebody like falling into the pool. But there are some really high level divers that are diving at the same time as him. So he's always over in like where they have the little springboards, like the 1 meter springboard. And he's gone off the 2 meter springboard and the 2 meter tower. There's always people up like on the 10 meter tower, 10 meter platform, the 5 meter platform, and they're jumping off and like spinning and like they're doing crazy shit, and it is so fun to watch. But yeah, he absolutely loves it. So that's really fun, and it gives me an excuse to sit and knit for an hour, because there's nothing else I can do. I sit and I watch him have a blast, flinging himself off. On the first day, they were just jumping off the 1 meter springboard, which is just like the basic diving board that's in, if you have a pool and it has a diving board, it's probably a 1 meter springboard. And at the end of the class, the teacher told them that they could go up and jump off of the 2 meter platform. And so he, like, from across the building, I could hear him go, yes! And he ran over there, and he didn't make it over there before this other girl that's in his class. And she got up there, and she got to the end, and she got scared, and she was kind of like hemming and hawing about if she should go, and she was kind of scared, and she's like, ugh. And my son's behind her like, just go! Like, he was like, he was really, really trying to not just push her off so that he could go, because he's like, just try to stop me from flinging myself off of this thing. Like, if they told him that he was allowed to go and jump off the 10 meter tower, which is like insanely high, he would just go fling himself off. He would have no reservations whatsoever. Anyway, I'm so sorry. This is just a giant stream of consciousness. So yeah, they've been doing that. He also played his first squash tournament on the weekend, which was really cute. He's been playing badminton and squash once a week for each, and he's pretty good at it. He's got a pretty hard serve and whatever. So this tournament was just really for fun, so they can kind of learn the format of a game and how to score it and all that kind of stuff. So he won a couple games, which was good. He didn't lose all the games, which I was a little worried about, because he's the youngest one in the group. So Yeah, so he did good. And what else? Oh yeah, we had the Creekside Festival a few weeks ago. It feels like forever ago, but it was just a few weeks ago, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago now. So that was in Airdrie, where I work. I work at Polka Dot Creek Yarn as a yarn dyer. For anyone who's new here and has stuck around to this point, thank you. Yeah, so Shelly, my boss, and her mom Penny, who is Creek Gardens Crafts, they organize the Creekside Yarn Festival every year, and it was great. They had the most attendees of, I think this was the 5th year or the 6th. I think the one in the summer was the 5-year anniversary. Anyway, out of all the festivals they've organized, this was the one with the most people that came. I worked at the shop in the morning, and it was absolutely it was crazy. Well, for the first hour, it wasn't too bad, and then it just went nuts. I've never seen that many people in the store before. So there was a sale on in the store. So we had a booth at the festival, but then if you wanted to come to the store, there was a sale on in the store. So we had a lot of people come in. It was super busy, and apparently the festival was super, super busy in the morning too. It always dies off in the afternoon, but that's just how yarn festivals tend to go, I think. I did get a few things at the festival. I was trying to be really good because I just purged my entire house and I don't need to bring more stuff in. I have enough yarn for now. Don't worry. I'm sure I'll buy more yarn, but I was like, I cannot be out buying a ton of yarn when I just packed up half my stash and it's in storage and whatnot. So I tried to be good. I got a couple of things I will show you. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, it's just been, life has been a lot. I had to I think I posted something in one of my Instagram stories a little while ago. Was it last week? It was last week. And it was, there was a day where I was having a bad morning. My fingers, I mentioned this a few episodes ago and never went back to it. I said that I think I have rheumatoid arthritis, and I was getting some testing, and that's been a few months since then, and my hands just keep getting worse and worse and worse. My fingers are really, really swollen, and I can't bend them hardly at all in the mornings. My knees are getting bad. My feet are the same in the morning. It's really hard for me to flex my toes like this in the morning. Anyway, I had some blood tests and some x-rays. They didn't see anything on the x-rays, and my blood test was negative for rheumatoid factor, which doesn't necessarily mean that I don't have rheumatoid arthritis. I've been doing a lot of research, and about half of the people who are diagnosed with rheumatoid actually don't have the rheumatoid factor in their blood. Anyway, so my doctor referred me to a rheumatologist, and I have not gotten in yet. I got a letter a few days ago with my appointment, and it is the day that we are leaving for Colombia, and I'm going to be on an airplane. So I had to call and reschedule, and now my appointment isn't until May, which is a little concerning because if it is rheumatoid arthritis, I would say it has gotten substantially worse since I first went to the doctor, and it just keeps getting worse. And the sooner you get on meds, if you have rheumatoid arthritis, the less damage it does in the long run, kind of thing. And so I'm a little worried that waiting another 4 months is not going to be great, but I do have an appointment with my doctor tomorrow, so I'm going to ask her to maybe do another round of x-rays and to maybe prescribe me something that will help in the meantime that's not just Advil and see if we can get the swelling to go down a bit. Anyway, I hope you're not bored to tears, because I've just been basically telling you my entire life story for the past 25 minutes. This is ridiculous. Okay, anyway, that's enough of that. So let's talk about knitting. Like I said, I can only show you one physical FO, and that's what I'm wearing. This is the Musselburgh by Isolde Teague, the Musselburgh by Isolde Teague. Everything, all the makers, designers, patterns, etc. will all be linked in my show notes below if you're new here. So yeah, I don't think I did make a few modifications. So when it comes to the Musselburgh, a lot of people are scared by the cast on because she calls for like this fancy like pinhole cast on that's a little finicky and tricky. And so a lot of people don't make it because they're scared of that cast on. I guess there's a few good tutorials out there on how to do it, but I just skipped that part. And for the decrease or for the increases, like you start with 8 stitches. I'm not giving anything away. You start with 8 stitches and then you increase up to whatever the pattern tells you. And so I do my increases on magic loop. So I just cast on 8 stitches on magic loop and increase from there. And then there's like a tiny little hole there, and I go back and sew the tiny little hole up like you would any other hat that you're making. And then I don't have to worry about all that silly finicky stuff. So I did that on this one, and I do the pattern calls for make one left and make one right for the increases, and I just do knit front and back because it's very tight and it's really hard to do make one left and make one right when you're increasing on magic loop, I find anyway. So that's just what I do. What else did I do that was a little different? I just kind of ignored the length that she recommends in the pattern, and I just knit until I was almost out of yarn because I wanted to make it nice and long so that my brim that folds over is really nice and long. So I think I measured it. I've still not blocked it. I've just blocked it because I put it on and I wear it every day. Anyway, I measured it from end to end, like from the beginning to the very end after all the decreases. And I think it's 25 or 26 inches in length because this is fingering weight. This is Polka Dot Creek yarn, which I didn't mention. This was our special colorway when we did Pink Friday not last year, 2022. And yeah, so this is our fingering weight base, and there's a lot of yardage in our fingering base. It's 463 yards for 100 grams. So I knit for a really long time, that's for sure. And anyway, I love it. This is exactly the kind of toque that I wear on a regular basis, like that I would buy in a store. It's exactly like this. So I really, really, really love it. And I'm gonna be making lots more. I actually did make another one. I have another FO, but I can't show it to you because I have no idea where it is. I'm at the point in moving where I don't know where anything is. I've either packed it or I've put it in a really smart place where I will totally remember where it is. That has happened to me multiple times already. So I was looking for this other one that I made, and I have no idea where it is. I've looked through what I have left in my knitting room, and it's not in here, so it must have got packed away with the rest of my stash and stuff. It's really pretty though. I made it with Sea Turtle Fiber Arts fingering weight yarn. Not her Ridley base. I can't remember what the name of the sock base was. Maybe once I move in April, I'll remember and try to show it on the podcast again. But it was a very light base, like a natural base and some gray like base. And then she had speckled rainbow colors all over it. And it was a sparkle base. Did I say that? It was sparkly and it had rainbow speckles all over, and it's really, really pretty. So I'll try and remember to show that in the future, but no guarantees. Yeah, so I've made 2 Musselburghs, and I also made a Sophie scarf by Petite Knit for my mother-in-law for her birthday, which I just gave her on the weekend. It was her birthday on February 1st. So happy birthday, Dawn, if you're watching. I don't think she watches this. But she wears a lot of shorts. She really likes wearing scarves and like short things that she can like knot. She can like twist in a knot in the front, or like she wears scarves a lot is what I'm saying, and generally short scarves. So I thought that would be a perfect thing to make her for her birthday. I made it with undyed fingering weight alpaca yarn and some undyed mohair, and I held those two together, and it's gorgeous. It's really, really gorgeous. I wish I could show you, but I already gave it to her, and I'm stupid and didn't take a picture of it. So sorry about that. Yeah, and that whipped up really fast. Those are really fast, easy gift knits. Okay, let's move on to whips. Here's what I'm working on right now. I'm gonna put some needle stoppers on here. Sorry about the sniffling. Apparently, I've never had allergies in my life, but ever since I started packing up our house and like digging around and purging and all of the dust and all of the everything that's been sitting in this house for 14 years, my nose has been sniffly for almost an entire month. Like, I don't know if I all of a sudden have allergies, dust allergies or mold allergies or something, but like it won't go away. It's really annoying. So I apologize for all the sniffling. Anyway, it is my husband, well, you know my husband, Dave, Mr. Stitches Be Slippin'. It is his birthday next week. Is it next week? Ah, shit. It's next week, yeah. My oldest son's birthday is next week on Monday, and then Dave's birthday is on Wednesday, which is February 14th. And as he likes to say, his birthday is not on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is on his birthday. I have never gotten a Valentine's Day present in my life. He hates Valentine's Day, and he also kind of hates his birthday because of Valentine's Day, so it's a whole thing. Anyway, I'm making him a sweater for his birthday. He's turning 45, and I made his brother a sweater for his 45th birthday last year, so then I felt like I probably should make one for Dave for his 45th birthday. Anyway, this is what I've been sitting here knitting on. And this is how far I've gotten. This is the Stick Season sweater by Rebecca Clow. She is the Crayabea on Instagram. She is the Crayabea podcast on YouTube. And so this is the beginning. I've joined for body rounds, and I'm just knitting around and around and around. It's called the Stick Season sweater. It's named after the song Stick Season by Noah Kahan. He is singer-songwriter, kind of folk indie type music. We listen to him a lot, and when Rebecca Clow came out with this, I thought this would be the perfect sweater for Dave. So I've been working on and off on this. I can work on it a lot more now because it's just on the body rounds and go round and round. I had to really focus when I was doing this. These are the sticks. When I was doing that, because I had to make sure that my pattern was lining up, and I was doing like various increases and stuff. So that took a lot of brain power when I didn't have a lot of brain power. So anyway, I think I just remembered another thing that I was talking about and got totally distracted. But anyway, yeah, this is my whip that I'm working on. The yarn is Polka Dot Creek. This is our classic DK base. I don't have the tags in here because I dyed them at work and then brought them home and didn't put tags on them. But our DK weight yarn is, I'm pretty sure it's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, so you can use them for socks. But it is a really, really nice base. I don't know, it's nice and plump. It's really, really nice to knit with. This is probably my favorite of our bases that to knit with. Anyway, this is navy. I think I said that. And it's working up quite nicely. So I'll give you one last look. And oh, I didn't show you the nice part. So this is a really nice detail on the shoulders. So it's like a sort of like ribbing, and it goes down in the back and it meets with this on the side, and that's that same detail there. So then when I pick up, and this will be the sleeve, when I pick this up, it'll have those details kind of meeting on the back of the shoulder, which is really nice. Very nice, thoughtful details. And then the 2x2 rib is going down the side on each side. Yeah, so very nice, thoughtful details. It's a really nice pattern. Hopefully I put a picture up before when I said what design, what pattern it is, but if not, I'll put it up here. I'll put a picture up of what the finished sweater looks like. And I have 8 to 9 days to finish it. It's not gonna get finished for his birthday. He knows that already. But yeah, that is what I'm working on at the moment. That's my main whip, my main squeeze. I'm using my bag that my mom made me, as usual. Again, this is I can't remember which bag design pattern name it's called, but Fringe Supply Co. used to make these bags and they don't make them anymore, but now you can buy the pattern and make them yourself, and that's what my mom did. The website is called Grainline Studio, where you can buy the pattern and you can buy kits with the fabric and everything to make them, and I'll put that link down below. This is one my mom made me for my birthday, birthday. But it holds lots of stuff. It's got, you can't really see, it's got my whip, it's got multiple balls of yarn in here. It's got quite a few miscellaneous things in here actually, because I just threw stuff in here when I was packing. Unpacking at the new house is going to be quite an experience, let's be honest, because there's various miscellaneous shit everywhere. Like there's definitely boxes of just like, how did these end up in the same box? Anyway, oh yeah, and I also have another Musselburgh on the go. So when I was at the Creekside Yarn Festival, one of the vendors was the Woolen Frog, and that is Carol, and she is from Medicine Hat. She used to have a yarn store called the Woolen Frog in Medicine Hat, and that recently closed, but she is still online, and she dyes her own yarn, and she sells, I'm not sure if she's still selling all the rest of the yarn that was in her yarn store, but you can go check it out, the Woolen Frog on Etsy. I'll put a link down below. But I was trying to be a really good girl and not buy yarn. And I went by, and I've been actually to Carol. I went to Carol's yarn store when it was open a few years ago. And so we kind of know each other, and I went and chatted with her for a bit. And I saw this yarn out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, no, I'm trying to be good. I'm trying not to buy yarn. I had already bought one skein of something else. So I was like, nope, don't do it, don't do it. And then I kept thinking about it, and I kept thinking about it, and I thought about it for the whole weekend. And you know, like if you keep thinking about it, then you just need to. So I just ordered it, and she sent it to me. And I am making it into a Musselburgh. So this is the yarn. It's amazing. Come on, right? See, Candace, I do knit with neons. Oh, that was from my other Musselburgh. This is the tag, the Woolen Frog yarn. And it's an 80/20 superwash merino fingering weight. And the name of the colorway is Hot Pink 80s Disco. And hot pink it is. It's so great. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So I've finished all my increases, and I'm just starting to go round and round and round, and loving it. So that is awesome. And then when Carol sent me my package, because I messaged her and told her the silly story of me not buying the yarn and then ordering it from her anyway, in the package that she sent me this awesome little project bag. This is Knitting Love. It's got a great handle on it. It's actually a really nice size. So I'm not getting paid to endorse this. I am not an affiliate. I am not whatever. She sent this to me out of the goodness of her heart and said, can you just try this out? This is kind of a new, different kind of design. And I really like it. If it has lots and lots of room in there for my skein of yarn, there's enough room for another skein in there probably. It's got a pocket in here that I've got my measuring tape in. You could fit lots of other stuff in there. It's a really nice size pocket. And it's nice and sturdy, so it stays up, it stays open, which I love in a bag. I don't like floppy, floopy bags. So, yeah. So here's my review. I told her, I posted it on Instagram and said I was gonna test the shit out of it, and I've been carrying it all over, and I love it. So thumbs up, Carol. I can't do thumbs up anymore. I was trying to give my kids thumbs up this morning, and I was like, because my fingers won't bend in the morning. I can't really, my fingers don't bend all the way, so I can't really give oh, that looks pretty good. Anyway, yes, so those are my whips. Not a lot. Once I finished Dave's sweater, like, it's all pretty much easy going from now. I just got to do the body, knit the sleeves, which I hate doing, but it's not hard, and then pick up the collar, and then it's done. So once I get that done, I do have some other sweater whips that I've talked about before, my Pink Fizz, my Pressed Flowers cardigan, all that stuff. I kept those out and didn't send them to storage just in case it strikes the urge to knit on some sweaters. I don't really have a lot of sweater knitting mojo at the moment. So I'm actually planning to do the, at Polka Dot Creek, Shelly has been dyeing minis for a blanket club. And so you get, I should really know this because I help dye the yarn. It's 9 colors a month. 9 colors a month. So you get 9 10-gram minis every month, and you use those minis. What the plan is for the blanket club is to make, I think it's called a Stitch in Time. I'll put the link down below. And it's a blanket, and it's like 9 mitered squares. And so those 9, like say for January, you do the little 9 squares, and then you put a little border on it, and then the next month you do your little 9 squares and put a border on it, and then at the end you have this nice big blanket. I'll maybe try and put a picture up here because I'm not explaining it very well. But everyone else at work has been doing it. We've been dyeing them for quite some time, and everyone has been doing them, and I was like, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. And finally I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Because I really want to. When I was saying I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it, it wasn't because I didn't want to. It was just because I don't tend to make those kinds of things, and I didn't think I would do it. But I'm at where my knitting mojo is at right now is I need the simplest knitting possible. So Musselburghs and mitered squares are probably where it's going to be at for a little while. This podcast might get real boring here real quick. So we'll see if the sweater knitting mojo comes back. But that is my plan for at least the next few months is just to knit on simple, easy things that I don't have to think about too much. Anyway, I got distracted. I was talking about acquisitions. I'm hopefully bringing home January, February, March from work. Oh, I might even we just finished dyeing April, May, June. So I might get the first 6 months from work when I go this week. Anyway, at the Creekside Yarn Festival, I was good and only bought 1 skein of yarn because it doesn't count. The Woolen Frog doesn't count because I didn't buy it at the festival. So I only bought 1 skein of yarn. I got this from Brian Dyeworks, which is Charity. It was very nice. I actually got to finally meet Charity in person. I have chatted with her on Instagram. I have used her yarn before. I've been to her house to pick up yarn from her mailbox, but I had never actually met her. So I finally got to meet her. It was nice to meet you, Charity, if you're watching. She has some really, really beautiful colors. And I really like, my last episode I showed the mittens that I made for my mom with the color work motif on them. And I used Charity's yarn for that. And the base is called Eco Sock. It's 80% eco-processed organic merino wool and 20% global standard recycled nylon. And it's a really nice squishy fingering weight base. And she had a tank top knit up in this as a sample, and I really, really liked how the colors worked up. And so I thought I would buy this for myself to make a Musselburgh. So that's my plan. Though the name of the colorway is called Rainbow Obsidian, if you are looking for it. I'll put a link to Charity's shop down below. I bought from my friend Candace, who is Mary Margaret Fibers on Instagram. And she works with us at Polka Dot Creek, and you can also get her yarn on the Polka Dot Creek website. I bought some tiny little scissors. Can you tell I like hot pink? They have this little thing that comes off, and the blade on them is so teeny, teeny, tiny. And I just thought they were adorable. And my mom, who is a cross stitcher, well, she quilts and cross stitches, but she does a lot of cross stitching right now. And she's always looking for scissors that have teeny tiny little blades on them to cut when she's done a color on cross stitch. So I bought a pair of these for her and sent them to her. And she sent me a picture of them in use, knitting, or not knitting, cross stitching. So maybe I'll put a picture up there of she's making Santas, probably ornaments for next year for my kids, if you watched my last episode. And then the other thing I got at the Creekside Festival, this is funny. The festival was over. Everyone was like packing up and loading out, taking everything out to their trailers and vehicles and whatever. And I was helping Penny load up, pack up all her stuff from her booth. Penny is Creek Gardens Crafts on Etsy, and her link will be down below. And I was just pulling project bags off of pegs to put them in the Rubbermaid bins. And I saw this and I was like, well, fuck. God damn it. I almost made it all the way through without buying anything else. And I was like, are you gonna bring these to the store? Because Penny has lots of project bags for sale at the store at Polka Dot Creek. And she said, I don't know why. I said, because I want it. She said, just take it. And so I took it and I paid her when I went to work the next week. Anyway, it's a Barbie bag. Look how cute it is. Oh, I love it so much. And it has stars in it, and the stars say Barbie. Come on. You have to see where it says Barbie. It says Barbie in all different colors with the stars. Anyway, I love it so much. So this is what this Musselburgh, no, not this one. This one was done. The other one that I have, that I don't exactly know where it is right now. That one was in here when I was making it. Oh, my nose is driving me crazy. Okay, my other acquisitions were the navy yarn for Dave's sweater. And I'm getting the blanket club yarn from work this week. So I have a few other acquisitions that I'm not going to show because they were gifts. I got a couple of Christmas gifts in the mail from some friends that had some really, really beautiful yarn in it. So if that was you, thank you. I love you. It was such a nice, it was beyond. Anyway, I also got this today, and I haven't even put it on yet, but Blossom Stitch Company is a local maker. Well, it's two ladies that run it. and they make stitch markers and stickers, and they've started making tote bags. No, not tote bags. They do make tote bags too, but t-shirts is what I was trying to say. And she posted this a while ago and said it was kind of a prototype and the stamp's not great on it and whatever. And she was like, I'll sell it to you, anyone who wants it, for a discount. And it was my size. And I was like, I'll take it. So look, isn't it cute? It's a t-shirt with a little knitted heart stamped on it. So I went and picked that up from her today. So I haven't tried it on yet. She said to let her know if the placement of the stamp is weird. I feel like it's a little close to the middle, but it doesn't matter. It's just a t-shirt. I don't care. I think it's super, super cute. So I think they have other ones like this in their shop. I'll put a link down below to where you can find them. And I think that's it. My nose is getting very stuffed up, and I didn't announce the winner of the giveaway. I'm so sorry. I talked about it at the beginning and it was like I should do this, and then I didn't even do it. And it just went totally blank. That's not a good sign. Yeah. I am giving away the leftovers from my yarn ink advent. I'm not going to show it right now because I don't know where it is. I think it's in the basket right beside here. I made sure to keep it out and not put it into storage so I could send it to the person who wins. So, forethought. Anyway, I picked a random number. Well, my phone picked a random number for me, and I went through the comments, and I was very happy to see that the winner is Megan from Wool and Cottonwoods. So she is someone that I have mentioned before. She has a podcast on YouTube. It's called the Hey Mom Podcast, and her YouTube channel is called Wool and Cottonwoods, I believe. I'll put a link down to it down below. She knits really beautiful things, and she has a really nice little podcast. So if you want to go check out Megan, go check her out. And congratulations, Megan. You won my yarn ink leftovers. So you can send me an email at this email I'm going to put up on here if you want, or you can just send me a DM on Instagram. That would probably be easier, and I will probably respond to it faster. And yeah, so then I'll get it sent off to you in Lethbridge. Okay, I think that's it for now. And I didn't have anything to talk about, and I still am at over 50 minutes. So I will sign off, and I hope all of you are doing well. I hope you all had a good holiday season. Thanks for watching. Hit like and hit subscribe and share all over Instagram if you're watching me, do all that stuff.